I feel why do so many people say that with like I don't what's with Millie? He wishes. Yeah, I wish I could sing like Millie. I wish I could sing like Millie. But I have had some people say that before. That like Millie sounds like me, but I don't sound like Millie. Like I can't sing like Millie. But yeah. Anyway, right, thank you for instantly executing that bot. Good bot. Milio. Yeah, so we let me send out my tweet. I keep calling it tweet. Biscuit. Alright. So we should be finishing Akechi's route today. Hopefully. If all goes as planned, we should be finishing Akechi's route today. Why does subtitles here executing that butt? Execute that butt. Get that butt out of here. I want that butt gone. Oh, Worms WMD is on sale. Why'd you have to give me that pop-up Steam? Oh, West of Loathing is too? Damn it. Rip that butt. Let me get the game open. There we go. I clicked that. I saw like my thing like lit up like green, like someone messaged me, but it was like, oh, these games you want are on sale. What game? West of Loathing and Worms WMD. Alright, let's go. Let me turn this down in my headphones. I feel like when I took my headphones off to go make my stuff, I could hear the music coming from my headphones. So I'm worried that there might have been some audio bleeding during Minecraft. But hopefully there's no audio bleeding right now. Let me take it off. Hold on. Yeah, Worms does look like a really fun game. Where's the Loathing too? They look like fun little stream games. Put that right here. Okay. Alright! Let's continue. We should be beating this today. Or not the entire game. We should be beating Akechi's route today. Not the entire game. But yeah, so last time we were able to beat Porlock. We took over the ship. And then we were heading, I think was it India? And then Akechi got like a letter telling them to go back to Japan. And now he was about to ask us to go to Japan with him. I will call her whatever I please, thank you.
途中で呼び方を変える者はなかなかいませんよ。
And that is your right, of
どんな
course.
心境の変化
However,
です。
people do not often
何があ
change
っ
the
たんで
form
す。
by which they addressed another so long after being introduced. And that leads me to wonder what might have happened between the two of you to bring about such a shift. Oh, is it loud? Is the game too loud? Don't think I've heard of the other one before. Yeah, it's kind of like, how do you describe it? I know Dwarfs played it. Yeah, it's pretty loud. Is it okay now? I turned it down a bit. Yeah, but then, yeah, Pendleton cock-blocked, and also we think Pendleton is skirting laws to commit murder in lawless waters. Yeah. Play what now? West of Loathing. Yeah, because it's on sale right now. Well, Kobayashi cock-blocked. West of Loathing is Peen. I'll tell you when Pendleton speaks again. Okay.
あなたに 今節丁寧に答える気になれません。
I feel under no obligation to provide any answer to that. Stream is just gonna freeze and somehow have a real lifetime skip and just hear, that was London Detective Mysteria. I put up a poll for our next game. Oh yeah. Yeah, speaking of, be sure to vote on the Discord for whose route we play next. I believe Kobayashi is running right now. That's good now? Okay, cool. The words they exchanged on the surface seemed restrained, polite, and calm. But the looks in their eyes as they glared at each other seemed unusually frosty. Yeah, Pendleton, like, murdered everyone on the boat that was, like, a criminal.
うわこんなに割って入りたくない1対1初めて見るよ。
Without speaking, we agreed Lupin last. Save Peak for last. Well, after I handed to both of them, I don't think I've ever seen a conversation more difficult to join in than this one. Oh, whoops. What did I do? Also, I shared Kobayashi's timely sentiment. I knew I couldn't let Akechi and Pendleton continue staring each other down. But we also want to delay Holmes as much as we can. And man, I really don't want the Jack one. Well, he made Pendleton shoot like 20 guys, and also tried to put Emily in a situation where she might be pressured to fuck off to Japan after missing for days, should be weeks, without consulting anyone. Yeah, no wonder Pendleton's pissed. Like, the two of you be so kind as to stop scowling at one another?
とにかくお嬢様はロンドンへ帰ります。私と一緒に。
At any rate, Lady Emily will be returning to London with me.
それは
No, she
お
will
断
not.
りします。
Oh! What? Akechi pulled me close to him. It's my turn to kidnap Emily.
僕は彼女を日本へ連れて行こうと思います。
Because it's my intention to bring her to Japan with me.
連れて行きま
And I
す。
shan't be dissuaded. Oh my. He's forward. I guess she is being kidnapped again. Alright, listen, buddy. Shan't. I shan't be dissuaded.
僕自身にかけて誓います。日本でどんなことが起こっても、彼女は
Pendleton
僕が
killed this
必ず
man.
守ると。
I swear that whatever may transpire there, I will guard and defend her.
だから、
To be fair,
Londonへは
Akechi
行かせま
didn't
せん。
even get to ask her before Pendleton came in, but he made
ど
the
うしても彼
situation
女を連れて行
anyway.
くというのなら、
As such, I will not allow you to ferry her back to London. If you insist on trying, Pendleton,
今ここで
then you will have to best me in a duel first. And I promise you I will
絶
not
対に
lose.
負けませんから。
Are you sure you want to go against the guy that killed like 20 people? Akechi was now gazing straight at Pendleton, with no hesitation, or any sort visible in his bearing.
本来なら、
Emily,
まず先にあなたの意
ordinarily,
思
I
を
would ask
確かめ
your
なければ
opinion
いけなか
before
った。
issuing such a
こん
declaration.
なことを言って戸
And for
惑
the
わせて
trouble
しま
I'm
う。
undoubtedly causing you, I apologize. We can either loan Emily out on a foreign exchange program, or we can exchange your living body for a fucking corpse.
先生、僕はこの先もあなたと一緒にいたい
That's cool and all, but Akechi is asking for a death wish now.
です。
But the truth of the matter is, I want to stay with you. I don't want to let you go. His attention turned to me, the duel, if this game was based. Indiana Jones. Sword fight. Oh my god. Pendleton would do that. That the guy with the sword is just Akechi swinging around his katana, and then Pendleton just takes out a gun and shoots him. His attention turned to me.
僕のわがままを
I realize what I'm asking of you is the height of selfishness. But would you be willing to grant this one wish of mine? The iron of the gaze he's shown Pendleton had melted away, and in his eyes, I saw a gentle kindness and even a trace of nervousness. Emily, I had to deal with a lot of racism. Now it's your turn. It felt as though he was showing his own weakness to me, and my chest tightened at the thought. So it's only fair you come to Japan and experience the most misogyny imaginable. And in that moment, I knew I wanted to go with him. The wish he had held to be so selfish was, in fact, the self-same wish I harbored. Akechi-san, I can't wait for people to be racist at me. If you are selfish, Akechi, then I'm even more so. I want to see your homeland with my own eyes. I hope they don't treat me like a filthy gaijin. I want to help you solve the incident that hangs over it like a storm cloud. I want to try the onigiri in Monaka that Kobayashi told me about. I witnessed the changing of Japan's 4 seasons. I want to come to Japan with you, Akechi.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you, Emily. Only then did I realize how nervous Akechi must have been asking me, for I saw relief spread over his face and through his posture.
よかったな。
Way to go, Akechi!
お前がレディーに抱きついて。俺の予想は見事に外れたけど、結果オーライじゃん。
My predictions of a passionate embrace may have been off, but all's well that ends well, I say.
お嬢様が海を越え広い視野を持とうとなさることは私も嬉しいです。
Seeing your desire to sail halfway across the... Oh. What's that? Okay. Seeing your desire to sail halfway across the globe to expand your horizons and learn more of the world gladdens me as well. However, you will be returning to London right now. Get in the boat. Pendleton, then you consent? No.
ですがダメです。
No, I still won't allow it. Based. Don't see block us this time.
なんでだよ。
But why? How can you refuse after all that? Based apartment. Hold her at gunpoint. That'll work.
動機が不
The
純です。
motives
い
are
けません。
impure. And that is all the reason I need. What exactly is impure about my motives?
明智君と一
That
緒に
Akechi is the main
という
reason
あた
for
り。
your sudden desire to travel abroad.
そんなは
Must you really be such a stickler, Pendleton? Her desire to go together with Akechi is the entire point of it. Pendleton, just shoot them.
明智さんの生まれ育った場所だからこそ行きたいのよ。そこは譲れないわ。
I want to visit Japan because it's the land in which Akechi was born and raised, and I shan't budge on that point. So much had happened that I wasn't able to give in, even if it meant arguing with Pendleton. Oh, hey, there's Erwin! Welcome, welcome! It's international waters, not even a crime.
ペンデルトンさん、少しだけ待つので、お
Son,
好きな武器を用意してください。
That's fantastic, Emily, but also you are not a legal adult and I am your guardian. Get in the boat. Pendleton, I'll wait for as much time as you may require. So kindly prepare a weapon of your own choosing. Akechi? What are you doing? He released my arm and, to my surprise, his hand immediately hovered over the pommel of his katana.
あなたは下がっていてください。
Please step back, Emily. This may prove dangerous. Gun, 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 gun! But you can't!
おや勝負で決めますか？お嬢様がかかっているのであれば、私も喜んで相手になりますよ。
Oh, so it's to be decided through a bout of valorous combat, is it? Very well. If Emily herself is on the line, I will gladly meet your challenge. I swear to God, this duel better not happen, or Akechi should get fucking annihilated. I will not accept anything else. He literally just murdered like 20 people. As a disturbingly cheerful smile spread across his face, Pendleton reached into his jacket.
覚悟の上です。彼女がかかっている
I
の
mean,
な
they
ら
were defenseless.
たとえあなた
True.
と差し違えてても
Likewise, if the spout will decide Emily's destination, I shall emerge victorious, even if it means going down with you.
待って二人ともそれはやめて喧嘩はダメよ
Also, he has shot guns out of people's hands. No, see here. Stop this, both of you. You shouldn't be fighting.
いえこれは喧嘩ではありません。ただの喧嘩だったらここまで命を懸けたりしませんから。
You have it wrong, Emily. This is no mere fight. If it were, I wouldn't be willing to stake my life on it. Emily, that is a red flag, not gonna lie. His unflinching confrontation of Pendleton made clear that he meant every word he said.
なおさらダメよ明智さん刀を収めて
It's even worse. Sheath your sword, Akechi.
私
As much affection as I feel towards you, I have no love for aggressive men who are quick to fight.
嫌いよ
Hamster face. What?
明智
Akechi.
落ち込
You
む
need
の
to
が
decide
出るの
whether
が
to be
どっちかに
depressed or
言ってくれ
embarrassed.
見てる
It's
こっち
gotten
が楽しい
exasperatingly shameful watching you attempt to be both simultaneously.
やれやれ
Goodness.
その程度で
Beggars
動揺を
believe
あらわ
that
に
you
す
are
るとは
rattled by no simpler thing. By so simple a thing. Let's go! He pulled out their gun! That's my dude! I got a Glock in my Rari. 17 shots, no 38. Hold on. I feel like this image has good meme potential. Let's go. I guess he's admitting it. This devil's Luger is killing a Christian tonight. Before I could move to stop him, Pendleton had pointed his gun at Akechi. What are you gonna do? Shoot me? Things Guy says moments before getting shot.
そこまで言うなら
But if your determination
Akechi-kun,
is true,
今
then show
ここで
here and now the proof
そ
of
の
your
覚悟の
resolve.
一つでも見せてください
You thought this was a big romantic moment? No, I am not fucking around. Give me the fumo. Now! Wait! The game was rigged from the start. I was stunned into speechlessness as the sound of a gunshot rang out across the deck. Unflinching, unmoving, Akechi's glare towards Pendleton remained steady.
なぜ避けようとしなかったのですか
Why did you make no attempt to avoid my shot? Only play he has is to stab himself. Then Pendleton will shoot himself to one-up him.
あなたからは武器を持つ者特有の緊張感は感
And
じら
then
れ
there
ま
was
した
a hole in the boat, and the boat
殺気が伴ってい
sank,
ません
killing
でした。
everyone. The end. I felt from you the same tension I feel in those who brandish a weapon, but I sense no killing intent behind it.
ここであなたの挑発に乗ったら
The good end.
僕は彼女を守れませんから
If I were to lash out against your provocation here, I would prove myself entirely unfit to safeguard her. The bullet Pendleton had fired was lodged in the wooden planks of the deck.
なるほどそこまで見抜いてもなおお嬢様を守るという意志が揺るがないのなら
I see.
仕方あり
You
ません
rightly
ね
discerned that much, yet your desire to protect her never wavered. I suppose there's no helping it then. I mean, yeah, that's fair.
ギリギリ旧大
I
点です
shall award you a passing
お嬢
grade
様を
this
お
time.
任せしてもいいでしょ
Looks like I can safely leave Lady Emily in your care afうall. It was only an issue with Watson because he was being a bitch. Pendleton nodded, putting away his gun. And also, as I said before, she's your problem now.
でも出ると
But Pendleton, I can't believe you would seriously turn your gun on him. I can believe.
これもお嬢様のた
I
め
did
です
so for your sake, my lady.
お嬢様もお忘れ
Still,
なきよ
do not forget that there are
ロンドン
many
に
who
はお嬢様
eagerly
を
await
待ってい
your
る人
return
々
in
がい
London.
ます
And mysteries left
お
unsolved.
嬢様が解き明かさなくてはな
I
らない
remember that
事
big
件を
mystery you wanted to solve about your parents. Yeah, that. Pendleton's always saying what you want him to say. Kobayashi's my guy. Pendleton's dwarf's guy.
私は
He says what
お嬢様
dwarfs
が広い
thinking.
視野と見聞を持ちお帰りになること
I
を
shall look forward to seeing you, a more learned and discerning young woman upon your return. You better know how to read kanji when you come back. I will be testing you. He smiled softly at me. Ever ready to chide me for my errors as he was, Pendleton also never failed to consider my feelings, and I was filled with a profound thankfulness for both aspects of the man. Of course. Thank you, Pendleton.
ペンデルトン。
明智君少しでもお嬢
As
様
for
を
you,
悲しませる
Akechi,
ようなこと
if
があ
I
れ
should
ば
find that you have done
即
anything
イ
to
ギリ
cause
スへ
her
お嬢
even
様を
the
連れて
slightest
帰ります
distress, you can be assured I will take her back with me to England at once.
望むところです。
Understood. I do have ninjas set up around the perimeter to keep an eye on you at every moment. Akechi took me in his arms as if it were the most natural thing in the world, and this is coming from the guy that was too nervous to even touch her hand at the start of the route.
そんなことは
Rest assured, I would never
万が
dream of
一
doing
もあ
any
りえ
such
ません
thing.
よ。
Griff and Pendleton both got tired eyes and someone on a leash. Am I Emily? Akechi. The warmth of my happiness mingled with my embarrassment, and before I knew it, I was blushing, uncertain whether to fix my gaze on him or the floor. Have fun with the daddy issues, my lady. I tried very hard to prevent you from having to deal with this, but I see there's no helping it. Once it had been decided that I would be traveling to Japan, I decided before my departure to pay a visit to an old friend of my parents, who had taken up residence in Bombay. Upon learning of my parentage, he welcomed me into his home with open arms. Suspicion. I came to learn that he had moved to India before my birth, and not been back to England for quite some time. Aren't all of your parents' like friends like getting a hit on them? I don't know if I trust the one guy that's still alive. He seemed fascinated to hear me tell of modern England and that I was attending school.
それで
And so he simply gave you all their supplies for the journey and even went so far as to furnish skilled sailors for the ship? Or else he barely begins to cover it. How crazy would it have been if that last fade to black we heard another gunshot?
船の中で味わ
I
うという
lied. Actually, I'm taking Emily back, whether you want me
たく
to
さ
or
んいた
not.
だいたわ。
He even gave us some tea and oranges to enjoy during the passage to Japan. Oh, so convenient.
類は友を呼ぶ
It seems
とも
birds of a
申します
feather truly do flock together,
亡
as
き
the
旦那
saying
様と
goes.
奥様の
Your
ご友
parents'
人は
friends are all
気持ちの
upstanding
いい方
people.
ばかりですから
Hi, a strange friend of my parents. Every person working on our boat is dead in the brig. Can we have new ones?
人と人の間には
The bonds that tie people together can truly
縁というものがあ
never
るん
be
です。
completely severed. Even if the guy is innocent, now the guy might be targeted.
死
Yeah.
に刀を刺す明智さんが言うと、なんだか
Wait.
余
It
計に
takes
重
on
みがあ
an
るわ。
oddly literal connotation when put that way by someone with a sword hanging at his waist.
この様子なら明日にはこの港を出発できるでしょう
Well, I'm glad they believed her word. At this rate, the ship ought to be ready to set sail tomorrow.
お嬢様長期間の船旅は無意識に体に負
Either
担をかけ
that
ます
or
今夜は
they're there to
船室で
kill
お
her.
早めにお休みく
I'm
ださい
glad Pendleton had that gun. My lady, I feel it pertinent to mention that lengthy journeys by sea put more strain on your body than you may realize. Be sure to head to your cabin and sleep early tonight.
でも、みんなは
Just me? What about everyone else? I'm going to be torturing them.
明智君も小林君も船には慣れていますもちろんこの私も
Akechi and Kobayashi are well accustomed to ships. Naturally, I am as well. I am not the boss of them. I am the boss of you.
でも、私だけ先に休むなんて。
But it feels wrong for me to be the only one to turn in early.
ペンデルトンさんの言う通りです。
Pendleton is correct. Given your history of finding yourself getting into difficulties, you'd probably, when it gets dark, just fall off the brig and fall into the ocean if we didn't keep our eyes on you. So just go and sleep.
あなたが乗り物に強いということは知っています。ですが、蓄積された疲労ほど目に見えず怖いものはありません。
I'm well aware that you are not prone to travel sickness, but few things are more concerning than fatigue that is built up within, invisible to the naked eye.
自分の体のためにも、僕たちを安心させるためにも、休んでください。
So, both for your sake and ours, please get some rest. I'm sorry, you got fucking shot. Alright then. She has been smoking crack in a cage, living the good life. You go to sleep. Accepting at last, I walked away with Pendleton at my side, to do as I was advised. Emily sleeping during a storm, comically getting thrown out of a window and ending shipwrecked in an island. Are you sure you're alright with that, Akechi?
こうでも言わなければ。
If I hadn't insisted, she would have overexerted herself. It's very considerate of you to say, but it's obvious you wanted to spend more time with her. I cannot deny it. That's precisely why I need time apart to cool my head, so that I'm not thinking only of what I want. I gotta calm down my horny thoughts. Goodness, you really have fallen hard for her, haven't you? Is there a problem with that? He's gotten so much more confident now at the end of his route. I did not want to see her vomiting, Kobayashi. Not yet. There'll be plenty of times for that when she is barefoot and pregnant. I won't let you weasel out of admitting it, Akechi. No matter how long I lay in my bed, sleep seemed to elude me. Good for him for standing up more. This isn't like me. Most nights, I plunge into a deep sleep as soon as my head touches the pillow. Lying there, my thoughts couldn't help but drift to the journey to Japan on which I was soon to embark, and to Akechi. Drat! Not only can I not sleep, I cannot even relax now. It's because I don't have the two lamps that are set like one space apart from each other in this room, unlike at my actual mansion, huh? There's not even a cook chair. It'd been Akechi who encouraged me to get to bed early. Yet, as those thoughts played out within my mind, I couldn't help but recall that his usually calm expression had an air of loneliness to it this night. Oh, have you not seen her mansion lamps that are just weirdly sat next to each other? Oh, I need to show you those, Phoenix. Perhaps feeling the breeze on deck would help relax me and lull me to sleep. Quietly, I stepped out of my cabin. Oh, she is gonna fall into the ocean. Watch. It's strange how the moon and stars seem so much larger out here. It may be due to how bright they appear. I'm sure that if a shooting star would race its way across the sky, I would notice it right away. Once I had reached the deck, I slowly walked towards the bow of the ship, gazing up at the sky, but I stopped short at what I saw. If there was a shooting star, I wonder what wish I would make upon it. There stood Akechi, gazing out at the faraway stars alone. It was a captivating sight. His silvery hair, illuminated in the light of the moon, swayed gently in the sea breeze. His gaze, powerful and piercing when directed at others, was pointed out towards the night sky above and the dark waters below. What was he thinking, I wondered, What sights and memories were playing before his own eyes?
Akechi-san,
Is he thinking about Japan? Although my first impulse was to call out to him, I found myself hesitating. But as fortune would have it, he turned to see me there.
あなたはもう休んだのでは？
Emily, I thought you had already gone to sleep. I could only assume he had somehow sensed my presence, for I had been quiet as a mouse.
休もうとしたんだけれど落ち着かなくて、いつもならすぐに眠れるんだけれど。
I tried, but I just couldn't relax. It's strange. Usually I fall asleep almost instantly.
まるで遠足前の子供のようですね。
You sound like a child the night before a school trip.
大方想像がつきます。あなたは前日に興奮して眠れず、当日に睡眠不足を引きずるタイプですね。
You strike me as the type who got so worked up you were unable to sleep, then ended up too exhausted on the day itself to really enjoy it. That's me. I do that all the time.
そんなことないわ。当日も気持ちと元気で乗り切るタイプよ。
I was not. For your information, I was able to coast effortlessly through the big day on excitement alone. Same though, yeah. When you're so excited, you just can't sleep because of all the thoughts rushing through your brain.
そうきましたか。
That's not the answer I was
あなたらしいというか、
expecting,
なん
but
というか。
it's very like you, I must confess.
でも
Still,
この季
the
節の
sea
海風は
breeze at
体
this
を
time
冷や
of
しま
year
す。
brings in colder air from the ocean.
早めに
So,
部屋に
I
戻った方
recommend
が
that
い
you
い。
return to your room.
だけど
But what about you?
僕には
This temperature is just right for me, so I'll be
いいんです。
fine. Can I at least stay out and keep you company for a while
あ
longer
とも
then?
うちょっとだけ
Maybe
一緒にいても
if we like
いいかしら。
rub our bodies together, it won't be so cold. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Kurama.
寒くならないようにしてくださいね。
I suppose. Just make sure you don't let the cold settle on you. Alright. I sidled up next to him, the light breeze rustling my hair. The moon's too pretty to not smooch under tonight. Yeah, the moon is like the perfect place to make out. We've established that in... What game was that where we were talking about making out under the moon? Was it this game? Was it a different game? I like the night sky, brightened by... Oh, Witch's Heart, that was it. Witch's Heart, yeah. I like the night sky, brightened by the pale light of the moon and spangled with starlight. The sea was an unending sheet of darkness as far as the eye could see, an abyss one might be drawn into simply by gazing into it. Because Rollardo could not stop looking at the moon and making it a moment. Yeah.
明智さんはどうしてこんな
Men
とこ
and
ろ
their
に
moons. So, what are you doing out here?
少し落ち着いて考え事がしたかっただけです。
I wish to do some thinking.
もしかして故郷のことを
About your home?
ええ。
Yes. He stood silently for a moment, as though considering what to say next. It's true though. Y'all so cool.
そういえば、あなたにこの刀のことを
Don't
話
believe
してい
I've
ま
ever
せんで
told
した
you
ね。
about the katana I carry, have I?
明智さんの
All I
刀
know is that it's very important to you.
大切なものなんでしょ。
はい。
Indeed.
この刀
It
は
was
元
bestowed
服、
upon me by my master when I
14
was
歳の時に
14 during my
僕の
coming
師
of
匠から
age
託されたも
ceremony.
のなんです。
Rip Sokka. Oh, Sokka. You're right. Yeah, Sokka from Avatar. Right. Our girlfriend is the moon.
師匠
So, it's a gift
明
from
智さん
him?
の
変な話
It
で
must
すよ
seem
ね。
strange. All this
あれだけ
time,
自分から
I've
遠
tried to
ざけ
avoid
続けていた
speaking of
存
him
在
or
なの
even
に、
thinking about
捨
him.
てることができな
Yet
か
I
った。
carry this memento with me everywhere I go.
師匠から得たもの
But
が
in
あった
truth,
から
this blade he
僕は
gave
倒
me
れることな
is
く
what has allowed me to
前に
push
進み
onward
続けることがで
through
き
the
ました。
challenges that have beset
そ
me.
してあなたを守ることもできた。
And it allowed me to keep you safe too, Emily.
ずっと
In a certain sense, he has been by your side all this
支
time.
えてくれていたのね。
日本に戻ったら
When we arrive in Japan,
師匠
I
に
intend to go visit him.
会いに行ってみようかと思っているんです。
Oh, let's go, Akechi! Go confront your dad? His voice had lowered to almost a whisper, but I heard every word.
僕は今までずっと
For long, I believed he had
彼に
turned
見
his
捨
back
てら
on
れ
me
たと
and
思っていたん
abandoned
です
me.
が、僕自身を家
But
族から
recently,
守るため
I've
に
been wondering if he didn't
わ
decide
ざ
to
と
play the
憎ま
part
れ
of the
役を買って
villain
出たので
in
はな
order
い
to
かと
protect me from the nobility.
そう思うようになって、それを
I want to
本人
hear
から
whether my
直接
suspicion
確
is
かめたい
right
と。
from my master himself. Akechi's expression showed that he was not fully rid of his hesitation, but the gloom that had before pervaded him when he spoke of his master was nowhere to be seen. And that, small though it might have seemed, and that, small though it might have seemed, filled me with much happiness.
でも、そう思えたのはあなたのおかげなんです。
Still, I have you to thank for leading me to that realization.
私の
Me?
大切なものほど危険な目に合わせたくなくて遠ざけようとする。
The more important someone is to you, the more you desire to keep them from harm, even if that should mean pushing them away from yourself.
ちょうど以前、あなたが日本に行きたいと口にした時のことを思い出したんです。
Ooh, excuse me. I found myself ruminating on the time you expressed your interest in visiting Japan, and how I reacted then.
明智さん、あの時は日本に来るのはおすすめできませんって。
As I recall, you said you were afraid you could not recommend that I actually go there, or something to that effect.
思い返せば、僕も師匠も人を気遣えば気遣うほど言葉の選択をよく間違っていましたから。
As I mulled over it, I realized that both I and my master have an unfortunate tendency to choose our words poorly the more we care for another. Akechi sighed, realizing the similarities.
明智さんがそんな間違いを？
You do?
はい。特にあなたに対して。
Yes, especially when it concerns you, Emily. Akechi's gaze flitted to my face, settling there only briefly before he looked back out at the sea.
情けない姿を見られたくなくて、あなたを遠ざけて逃げようとして。
I didn't want you to see me in some vulnerable moment or regard me with pity, so I did my best to keep you at arm's length and distance myself from you.
あの時もそうでした。学園の中庭であなたの手を振り払ったあの時も。
It was exactly what I was hoping to accomplish when I knocked your hand away that day in the school courtyard, too. Man, you could really use Akechi's route as like Akechi's route in Persona 5. They're so similar.
ずっと後悔していたんです。すぐにあなたに謝れれば、あなたを不安にさせることもなかったと。
Afterwards, I constantly regretted what I'd done. If only I had simply apologized to you right then and there, you would have nothing to feel uneasy about.
それなのに、あなたと
Yet,
隣に
seeing
立
you
つホーム
there,
ズ君を見
with
たら、
Holmes standing there beside you,
僕は逃げ出すこ
all I
としか
could
でき
do
なかっ
was
た。
beat a hasty exit.
見苦しいです
A
よね。
man's jealousy is an unsightly
男
and
の嫉妬
fragile
なんて。
thing. Akechi gave me a weak smile. He looked so regretful, so sad, that I couldn't help but contradict him.
そんなこと
I don't think that's true at all.
ないわ。明智さ
I
んが
was happy to discover that there was more to you than simply being strong and strict.
優しくて不器
It
用で
made me glad to find that you have a kind heart, even as you
それを
struggle
隠
with
そ
how
うと
to
一
show
生
it,
懸命なんだ
and
と
that
分
you
かっ
put
て
forth considerable effort to keep
とても
anyone
嬉しか
from
った。
finding that out.
それを
But It's because you are who you are that I want to be with you.
あなたは
You really are a
本当に優
kind-hearted
し
young
い女性
woman.
ですね。
それは違
I
うわ。
wish I could believe so. If I truly were kind,
心優
I
し
wouldn't
い
have
女
caused
性
you
な
as
ら
much trouble as I have.
こんなにあなたに
After all I've done is cause
離
trouble.
せようとはしないもの。ただ離れたくな
And
く
all
て。
because I don't want you to walk out of my life.
遠くに行ってほしくなく
Because
て。
I want to be by your side.
ごめんなさい。
Even so, I
私
know
は
that no
どう
matter
頑
how
張
I
っても
try, I'll never be able to fit the Japanese ideal of what the ideal
大
woman
和
should
な
be,
でしこには
with long black hair and everything.
なれないわ。
So true. I trailed off, not knowing where to go from there. Akechi looked at me with great puzzlement.
あの、
Where does
どう
having
して
black hair enter
そ
into
こで黒
this?
髪が出てくるんですか？
明智さんの好
Because
みの
that's
女
your
の子
type.
とか
Did someone say ideal? Hey there, Skycon.
すみませんが、あなたがそういう女性になるのは無理です。
I'm afraid you're correct in that it would be impossible for you to transform yourself into the type of woman you're describing. We haven't invented hair dye yet. I knew full well that he was correct, but the truth of it added all the more to the sting I felt.
言われなくたって分かっている
Shall
わ
we
よ。
turn to lurking at
私は
work? Oh,
慎みもないし、
a
お
good day at work,
となしくしていないし
Skycon.
正座もできないし。
You don't have to say it. I'm not especially reserved or quiet. I can't sit in that uncomfortable looking pose, and
いえ、そうではありません。僕が許しません。
No, you misunderstand me. I mean to say that I have no desire for you to become like that.
僕が好きなのは目の前のあなたです。
Aww,
Okay.
aww,
ありのままのあなたでいてほしい。
that's so sweet. What the hell? I like you perfectly well as you are, and I wish you to remain that way. I'm willing to dunk my head in tar for you. As I spoke, he took my hand in his. Oh, this is so cute.
危なっかしいところも放っておけないところも含めたあなたが一番好きなんです。
I like none more than you. Precarious nature and all. They really had a really good development as like a couple. I ship them. I ship this.
だから絶対に黒髪の大和なでしこなんか目指さないでください。
Please, there's no need for you to chase after some ebon-haired Japanese ideal of beauty.
あなたが自分自身を卑下することは僕が許しません。
I won't allow you to disparage yourself, so. And besides, I will shoot anyone who comes on to the deck right now. Yeah, Kobayashi better not get in the way of this. Akechi gently ran his fingers through my long locks.
僕はあなたのこの金色の髪が好きだ。このままでいてほしい。
Oh my god, it's the KK Slider song again. I love your blonde hair exactly as it is, and hope that you will stay just as you are forever. He was so direct, so earnest, that I was stunned into silence. Yet, I wished to respond in some way to his declaration. Though nervousness beset me, I could not help but convey my feelings to him. Rationally, I knew I had little reason to worry. After all, Akechi was bound to accept what I said. After all, he was...
なんだか明智さんは海みたいね。
You're just like the sea. Oh, this is so pretty! What a pretty CG! I love all the sparkles and the star and the coloring is really nice.
それはどういう意味？
Emily, what does that even mean? What exactly do you mean by that?
激しい波が押し寄せたかと思ったらすごく穏やかになっていろいろな一面を持ってるの。
The sea is an existence with many faces. Sometimes, the waves are rough and turbulent, but at other times calm and peaceful. But no matter what face it shows, it never ceases to be the sea.
だけど
Alright, what stereo box did you read that on? You did not think of that yourself?
優しく私を
She
包んで
looked it up on Reddit. The sound of the gentle rise and fall of the surf envelops me with tranquility, exactly as I am.
私
I
も
love that about the sea. And I love you, Akechi. Pendleton, is this Riz? My heartbeat seemed to thunder in my chest as my cheeks flushed with wind. He's gonna call her the moon. Watch. I bet it. I bet it. He's gonna be like, and you're just like the moon. However, I had managed to confess to him my feelings and was convinced that, in his kindness, he would accept my words.
お返しするなら
Or to respond in the same vein, I would liken you to the moon! How'd I know? How'd I know? Because the fucking waves go along with the fucking moon. I knew it!
どんな暗い夜でも光で照らし
Even amidst pervasive darkness, you cast your light, showing me the
この
way.
綺麗な髪の
It's
毛の
that
よう
light I
に
see when I look at
優
your
しい
beautiful
光
hair.
で
And you are the boat full of men sailing across the sea. Today's shy look in the corner.
海の潮の満ち
It's
引き
just
が
like my tragic
月の
cookie
せいで引き起こされ
Yuri.
るのも納得です
A strangely fitting metaphor it is, too. For it is the moon that determines the rising and falling of the tides.
僕は
And just
あ
so,
なたに突き飛ばさ
I've
れた
been
り
pushed away and pulled in again and again,
動
ever
揺させられっ
turbulent
ぱ
by
なし
my
ですか
thoughts of you.
私が
That's a bit much.
そんなこと
Girl, you gave him an entire fucking, like, paragraph of reasons that he is the tide. Back off, Emily. While I understood the basis for his thoughts, I couldn't help but feel overwhelmed from being compared to something with the allure and mystique of the moon. Well, now you know how it feels for Akechi.
そういえば月といえば
There's a
僕
certain
の故郷の
tonka
日
from
本に
my
は
homeland
こんな
that
和歌が
sprang
残
to
っていま
mind
す
just now.
おわか
A tonka? That was a type of Japanese poem, wasn't it?
はい
Only on the
久方
day that
の
the moon shining in the
天
distant
津に空に
heavens is
照
no
る
more
月の
shall my
う
love
せ
for
なむ
thee
日こ
fade.
そ我が恋山
So when it's a new moon,
万葉集という歌集に収められた
it's from a collection of poems known as the Manyosu, compiled over 1,000 years ago. The moon shining in the distant heavens is no more.
夜空に
To
輝く月
explicate
が
that the moon's
なくなる
phases
日がある
change
という
from day
の
to
は
day. And although it may
その時
go
こそ
unseen in the light of day,
私のこの
it
思
will
いが
never truly
共
disappear
に
from
な
the
くな
sky.
ることだろうという意味です月はどんなに
So,
姿を変えよう
as
と
the
も
moon is ever changing,
空から消え
but
てなくなる
eternally
日などはありませ
endures,
ん
so too shall my feelings for you. What the hell? This is so sweet. Wata never had Riz. He did not have a Riz moment like this. Like, he got my heart pounding. He knows how to choose his words.
つまり
In other words, you're like the moon, possibly made of cheese. I like cheese. In other words, yes, he did. I must have forgot. Aketsu's hands rested on my cheeks, fingers slightly chilled to the touch from standing out on the deck. Yet the warmth of my cheeks was so great I scarcely noticed.
僕は
I mean, he caught Emily jumping out of her room.
光が照らすこの世
That
界
was
の
cool, I guess.
誰より
You're more dear to me than anyone. It is you who brings light to my world. Akechi could never. His arms would snap.
あなたという月
Don't
を
worry, his sword will stop her
僕は
fall.
決して消えさせやしない
As my moon, I will never let that brilliant light be extinguished.
この命にかけてもあなたを守りますどうか
Among other
僕を
things.
信じてください
I will guard you with my very life, so I ask you, please, place your trust in me. Almost went ooh woo for a second.
ま、最後のあたりはほとんど僕の
Fucking
決意
imagine
表明で
Watson
すけ
saying,
ど
"Oh wow, I really want to meet that girl at the orphanage again. We're gonna get married." Take it not as some misguided fatalistic desire, but simply as a statement of my dedication and determination. Oh, did I tabbed out. Whoops. With a shy smile on his face, he pulled me closer to him. Yay! Kiss CG! Woo! Then he kissed me. I accepted his affection as a feeling of serenity washed over me. My heart, on the other hand, showed no signs of slowing its rapid pulse. I couldn't help but wonder if Akechi felt it as well. Oh my god, am I having a heart attack? Ah! Congrats, you two. And yet, with his hands on my cheeks and his lips pressed to mine, I felt as though he had embraced everything about me. That there was no shame or embarrassment between us. I wanted to give something back to him, a man who had given such happiness to me. I want to be by Akechi's side. First to spend more time in his company, to touch him more, to feel his warmth forever. Damn, okay. Just immediately goes into, I want to touch you. That is no wish to entrust to the stars. It's something I ought to gain through my own effort. Damn, okay. Progress the game on your own then, Emily. I'll wait. You gonna click proceed with the mouse? Go right ahead. Here you go. The star can stop entrusting you. I'm done. Oh, what's that? You can't press proceed without the star guiding you? Well, I guess I'll just have to help you then. After all, dreams and wishes aren't empty hopes one patiently waits to be fulfilled, but things one brings to fruition oneself. Emily accidentally pressed on the auto button while they were making out. Just as he had embraced me, risking so much, I wanted to protect Akechi and his kind, pure heart. Beneath the soft light of the moon, surrounded by the lapping of gentle waves, I drew myself closer to him. The day to come would see us depart from Bombay, setting sail for Japan. What grand sights would I see there? What sorts of people might I meet? It was impossible to even speculate. The only thing of which I could be certain was that every sight, every custom, every moment would be wholly new to me. Things I read of in books finally given shape. But where once that thought might have been cause for a feeling of uneasiness, now there was only excited anticipation. Is that how excited is spelled? Feels like it's spelled wrong. After all, I would have the person I loved most, who'd ventured across this vast ocean by my side. That feeling alone was enough to buoy my spirits. In that moment, all that the future might hold seemed to be dazzling and bright. Yeah, it looked really off. Love poem. An excerpt from the Manyoshu, presented together with his affections for Akechi. Kokoro's Kokoro. Let's go! I got the achievement. The door to a new story, An English Lady in an Eastern Land, has been opened in the extras section. Destined End! Whoa! We did it! So, that was Akechi's route! Yay! Yeah, I liked that so much more than Watson's route. Watson's route sucked in comparison to Akechi's route. He had so much going on for him in this route. It wasn't just about him and Emily and like the childhood friendship thing that Watson had going. I'm gonna go clean this dish off while the credits roll. Oh, the extra thing, but yeah. But yeah, I really liked Akechi's route. They had a very nice natural progression of their relationship that I really liked. There was a lot more like interactions with other people. There was like the stuff with like the kid that wanted Akechi to be his master. Kobayashi was a lot more involved in this than I would say. Like, yeah, there's the whole church plot line and everything. Emily was less dumb. Like, I feel like no matter what, Emily's gonna be a little dumb. But she wasn't as dumb in this route as she was in Watson's route. And I don't know. I just thought this was a very solid route. Yeah, this one was a winner. There were some moments that I didn't like, but altogether as like a package sort of deal, I'd say for the most part I enjoyed this route like a lot. Not as dumb as usual. Yeah, she went a really long time in Akechi's route before she made any dumb decisions. So I will applaud you for that, Emily. Good job. You waited a week before you decided to get in a life-endangering situation instead of waiting a day. Very proud of you, Emily. That's some progress that we like to see. Why are we getting a lot of Lupin CGs for the ending? I like look up and I see a Lupin CG. I look down, then I look up and I see a Lupin CG. But yeah. I don't want to see Lupin spoilers, game. No! But yeah, if the other routes are comparable to the quality of Akechi's route, then I can come out of this saying that this is a good game. Let's hope we don't get another Watson. I'm praying. Like, I'm still angry about Marple. But yeah, Akechi's route is really good. I enjoyed it. Very solid. That's the kind of stuff that I'm looking in Otome games. Like, I feel like there are two different kind of like Otome game players out there. There are like the people that like to self-insert into the protagonist, and then there are the people that want to like ship the protagonist with someone. I'm like, occasionally I do like to dabble in the occasional self-insert, but I tend to like it more when I'm looking at the two characters. And be like, yeah, I like these two characters. They have a good dynamic. I ship them. I think that's why Ukyo's route is my favorite in Amnesia too, because I came out of that route just like really loving their history with each other, which is another big reason why I really like their route. Yeah, it's just nice to actually have a solid route after two disappointments. Yeah. Ah yes, another RPG maker to my collection of free RPG makers in my Steam library. Oh yeah, I grabbed that earlier. Maybe I'll be able to make a game. I'd like to self-insert Emily down a pit. My favorite Amnesia route is the one where you kill Alexander. Honestly, I get that. He was trying to return to his universe. But he was such a fucking asshole. But yeah. I give this route 9 LEOs out of 10. There are some moments in this route that I didn't like, but overall, I enjoyed it. Good Otome route. I understand why Emily fell in love with Akechi and why Akechi fell in love with Emily. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, what is this? Look how crunchy this bird is. I feel like someone's done art using this specific photo for something. Was it a Hatoful boyfriend character art? That might be what I'm thinking about. Because there's one Hatoful boyfriend character based off of a very cunty bird. Anyway, we got our happy ending. Now let's see our bad ending. That bird reminds me. Oh, that might be what I was thinking of. The Agretsuko bird. Amnesia Memories is another example. Shin is MC's childhood friend, but that route basically became a mystery story, and it was still engaging, despite his consent issues. Meanwhile, Toma is also your childhood friend, and you spend at least a week in a cage and constantly getting knocked out with drugs. Yeah, I don't get the people that like Toma's route. It's like on one end, I don't like it because of like the consent issues. And on the other end, I also don't like it because it's boring, because you're stuck in a cage. Like, you just talk to the bug inside of your head. That's like, oh, we should get out of here. Protagonist-chan, you should get out of here. You should run. And then Protagonist-chan goes out and then, like, she gets hurt. And then she's like, oh, instead of going to the police and, like, reporting this guy that has kept me, like, locked inside of his house, I'm just gonna run back into my little gorilla cage. He'll definitely notice that I got hurt and that I escaped from the cage, but it's fine. It's fine, thank God. Yeah, I will complain forever about Toma's route. Yeah, there's bad endings. Toxic romance fans when they encounter actually toxic relationships. Alright, I believe I set a save point for the Akechi bad ending. Yeah, Akechi save. And let me just pull up the Akechi walkthrough. Not Persona 5. Mysteria. Not looking for the social link guide for Goro Akechi. Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, I know what to do. Holmes! Oh god, we're cucking Akechi. Wait, Holmes!
Miss Whiteley, 一体どうしたんだ?
Miss Whiteley, when did you get here? As though he expected to resume the battle at any time, Holmes turned only his head to me without dropping his stance. This bird? Is a slender... Oh no, it's the actual bird! Oh my god. Yeah, that bird. Yeah, that's the cunty bird, alright. It's an issue because they do not time skip and you only have a month in a route. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, let's skip. Eat it myself. Alright, wasn't there... Didn't you get a scene with Kobayashi? I guess not. If I'm caught eavesdropping, I'll surely be reprimanded. I'm definitely curious about what all of this is about, but if I eavesdrop again, Akechi may become upset. I thought about it. Follow them? Go along my merry way? Listen? Don't?
Miss Whiteley, 彼らを尾行するなら、見つかった時の言い訳をまず考えたまえ。
Miss Whiteley, if you intend to follow them, I suggest you formulate a proper excuse to offer up in the event you're caught. It's rude to assume I'll be caught before I've made the attempt. I mean, have you seen yourself for like 5 seconds? Of course you're gonna get caught. How should I tell? I hurried all this way flustered and desperate to tell him. And here I am, paused.
なんて伝えたらいいのかしら。
Just can't seem to find the right words.
レディ、大丈夫か？
Are you alright, Emily? I let worry and panic get the better of me. I found myself frustratingly unable to articulate what I wanted to say. Kobayashi shot me a look of concern.
ミス・ホワイトリー、少し落ち着いてください。
Sweatly, take a deep breath, think, and speak when you are ready.
話があるのならここで待ちます
If
し、
you have something important to tell us, we'll wait here until you're ready to share.
まずは
You're under no
呼
pressure.
吸を落ち着けてください。
Thank you. Hearing Akechi's voice soothed my tensions, and I did as he said. I inhaled deeply, allowing the panic to course its way outward.
小林、お前は先に戻っていてください。
Let's
先に。
skip. Oh, because you're my friend. Oh, we're friend zoning.
友達だもの。
Well, because you're my friend.
友達が困ってい
I
る
won't
時に
stand idle when
黙
a
って
friend
話
is
し
in
ない
need.
なんて
It simply isn't in me.
そんなこと
Oof.
できないわ。それに明智さんが戻ってこなかったら
Okay, he doesn't react
Lady mo,
differently.
壺探しを。
The mustachioed man.
2番目に壺を買った口ひげの男性だ
If
けれど
meaning is a human imposed framework, can a universe without observers have intrinsic purpose? That's a good question. Why are you giving me some existential questions, Thunder Dude? Huh. Well, I'm a rabbit and I can impose a new framework. Universes can have meaning without people being in them. There you go. I'm in outer space. I know what I'm talking about. The second buyer, the man with the mustache, interests me.
ああ、
He
1個
does?
しか売ってくれ
What
なか
about
ったの
him
が
catches your
不服だったんだろ
interest?
壺を全部欲しが
At
ったっ
that point,
てこと
there
は
were actually 4 faces
その
remaining.
時売られてい
And
た
he was ready to
4
purchase
つ
all
の
of
壺を
them.
全て買おうとしてたってことよね。
Akechi, drop the katana. Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
金銭的に随分余裕のあ
That
るもののよう
does
です
point to a man of considerable wealth. No Harakiri. Pet the universe.
どうして全部の壺を
No,
買お
no,
うとし
dude.
たのかしら。
Universe was made without reason or purpose. I don't think it matters who is in it. True. I can't help but wonder what would drive him to 104. Just what reason could there possibly be? 'Cause he's a collector.
きっと彼は壺が
He must have known that the 5 faces formed a set.
だからできるだけ多くの壺を揃えたかったんじゃないかしら。
And as a set holds more value collectively than that of its elements taken individually, he wished to obtain as many of that set as he was able.
王室御用達ですからね。収集家が買い取ってもおかしくはないでしょう。
The workshop that produced these vases is the same that makes porcelain ware for the royal family, after all. It's only natural that a collector would take a keen interest.
そういう収集家なら
If this is indeed a collector we're
他の骨
dealing
董
with,
品店や露
he
店に
may
も
have visited other
足を運ん
antique
でいる可能性
shops.
があります。
After all, you are our universe, but you almost dropped my visual novel name. I'm realizing how fried my brain is, but this okay. Yeah, did you guys know I have a visual novel that I stopped working on called You Are My Universe? It's still in my brain, I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Working on it again. If this is indeed a collector we're dealing with, he may have visited other antique shops. Actually, yeah, actually, that's kind of funny. Yeah, You Are My Universe is a game that I made. Working from that theory, we visited other antique shops and stalls, asking if anyone had recently come seeking either vases or products made by companies with a royal warrant of appointment. So we gotta stare at the night sky to help. After many such enquiries, we were informed by the owner of a street stall of a man who collected solely items manufactured by the Regal Crown Dewsbury Porcelain Company. Yeah, be sure to look into the sun, Phoenix. He also told us of an antique shop frequented by the collector. And as he navigated to the aforementioned location, we were fortunate to meet him that very day. It took considerable time and a great deal of entreaty to convince him to part with the vase, but at last, we were able to buy it back from him. Tell me when to stop. Got it! If you blink, try again. Alright, time to skip. Protect the basket. Here we go. Kobayashi CG. I remember. That's my man.
ごめん。Akechi より先にこっちに戻ってき
Kobayashi
たら
already has
レディ
more
を見つけて
CGs
さ
with Emily than Marple did. It's not even his route. I ended up returning here before Akechi. What do I find? You. Well, you falling. Stopping my fall as he had, our faces were now far nearer than they had ever been before.
怪我しなかった
You're not hurt, are you? As he braced my shoulders, he looked at my face with concern.
小林くん、
Thank God.
私が
Saved
転ば
me
ない
from
よう
taking
に
a nasty spill.
助けてくれたのね。大丈夫よ、小林くん。
Not at all.
小林くんのおかげで
Thank you for saving
なん
me.
ともないわ。
He was close. So very, very close. In stature, he was easily the smallest member of our class. But in that moment, he seemed far larger than all of them. Are we cooking Akechi for Kobayashi? Are we catching feelings for Kobayashi in the bad ending? That would be funny.
私の方こそ
Forgive me for nearly crashing headlong into you. Help! Why is your heart
怪
pounding?
我なんてしてないから安心してよ
Forgive what? A bit of crashing never hurt anyone. Rip Marple, you were unappreciated by the makers of the game, but we appreciate you. I'll fix her route.
それに男だって
Besides,
女の子
we
体
men
張
have
って
a
受け
duty
止
to
めて
protect women at all the costs.
何
That's
の
why
た
we
め
were made so sturdy.
女の
I'm
子
gonna make one of
感
those
情に
like
できてると思ってんだよ
villainous games. I'm gonna make like a villainous visual novel, except it's like the I'm in love with the villainous, but it's I'm in love with I'm in love with the girl that has a route that lasts for 5 seconds and you don't get to date her. And I want to date her. Please help. Besides, we men have a duty to protect women at all costs. That's why we were made so sturdy. That's the good ending. I'm not so certain that's true, Kobayashi.
日本でもエゲレスでも男が女を守るっていうルールは一緒だよ
Both here and in Japan, it's considered a point of courtesy that men should protect women. I'd read/watch that. I remember a while back, I wanted to make an otome game. That was the protagonist is the best friend of the protagonist of an otome game. So like all the love interests are interested in your best friend, but all of the love interests are like bad in one way or another. Like they're toxic, narcissistic, yandere, etc. And so like the start of each character's route is you preventing them from getting close to your friend, and you can also date your friend as well. And the whole thing is to get them to break out of their toxic mindsets. I bet the name of my game is My Universe Began With You. If not, you're free to steal. You mean Class of 09? Oh, not Class of 09. Yeah, I remember I drew like designs of the character. I really like it. I wonder if I can find it. I wonder if I still have it. I know I had it on my PC because once I was talking to someone a long time ago about the possibility of doing it, and they're like, yeah, I can do the art for it, and then they just ghosted me. I'm constantly scared of that happening with games I'm working on, getting ghosted. Cause I just wanna make the game. Just wanna make the game. Please help me. Don't ghost me. Let me see. I wonder if I still have it on my PC. I remember I liked her design. She was cute. No, that's You Are My Universe art. That's a lot of You Are My... No, I don't have it anymore. I'll find it. I used to be a friend. Yeah. The root for the there's one guy that was essentially Zen from Mystic Messenger. But like the stereotypical playboy character, and his whole thing was like he wanted to date the protagonist. Not the protagonist of the Otome game, but her friend. Wanted to date her as like kind of like a trophy, kind of. Like he didn't see her as a person. And so like you get to like talk to him like he had like a sister that like he was really overprotective of. And oh god, I'm trying to remember all the stuff. But like he doesn't view you as a woman. Because you're like, he wants like an obedient and popular girl that like just makes him look better. And like you immediately get off on the wrong foot with him because you're like preventing your friend from getting close to him at like every moment, like sabotaging their meetings and stuff. I really want to revisit that someday. Well, here in Japan, it's considered a point of courtesy that men should protect women. I think the next game after my Happiness Laboratory game, though, I want to make a Yuri visual novel. I want a Y2K Yuri visual novel, angel versus demon, and then they kiss each other. Still, this country seems to have so many women who don't need a man to protect them at all. Like you, Emily. Bony Bony, look at me. Yes? You got a Yeek visual novel? No, year 2000. I like can't blame you. It was a very influential game. No, I'm talking about the aesthetic Y2K. Like early 2000s anime. Like I'm thinking like PETA 10. I'm thinking PETA 10. Chobits. Fucking what do you think? Y2K means year 2000. It's year 2000. Fucking aesthetic. Oops, sorry, I booped your nose off. What? Is that a bad thing? Yeah, I know Yeek is Y2K. I know that. I don't think so. I wouldn't particularly want every woman to feel that they have to be tough or tower over every man they see. But a girl with strength is special in her own way. And I'm telling you, I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the aesthetic. After seeing to it that I was soundly back on my feet, Kobayashi gently took his hand from my shoulders. You're strong, and you're kind as well. Seeing girls like you made me think, right from the beginning, that Ingels can't be a bad place.
小林くん。
大げさに聞こえるかもしれないけど。
Creatively geek-like style of RPG, like Undertale or Storebound. I know that's a whole lot of bluster, but I swear, I mean every word of it. Is that a blushing Kobayashi sprite? Beautiful. Delicious.
ありがとう、小林くん。
I know you by now, Kobayashi. The smile on his face was sweet as it was humble, but seeing it brought a similar smile to me. Oops.
ところで、レディ、さっきからすごくいい匂いがするんだけど。
That's strange. Ever since running into you, there's been this delicious scent lingering in the air. Is Kobayashi stealing Emily? For something that's supposed to be Y2K inspired, Eek didn't feel very Y2K in my opinion. Yeah. It feels more like 2010, not 2000. Kobayashi's gaze was firmly fixed upon the basket in my hands, his eyes twinkling with the exception of what might be inside.
この匂いってもしかしてあれか
What have you got there? Could it be what I think it is?
製の
More Pendleton's cooking?
匂いだけ
I
で
can tell by scent alone. He really does have a sweet tooth, doesn't he?
は甘いもの大好きな小林くんだわ。
Oh, okay, that's it for that cutscene. I mean, I wouldn't know. I was literally 0 years old. I'm gonna treasure the time we have
あとど
together.
れくらい一緒にいられるのかは
There's no telling how much longer I have to spend with them.
こうして
What I do know is that I should treasure the time we do have.
二人に
Shan't mope in front of
毛
them.
抜きを使わせてしま
Shan't
うか
make
ら
them feel like they need to spare any consideration for me. I encouraged myself as best as I could, trying to shed away the solitude churning in my heart from getting the better of me. Are we not gonna go to Japan? Because we're a coward.
明智さんは私に日本へは来ないで
That's how this is gonna end, ain't it? Let's see.
託されたしおり
The entrusted bookmark. Give me her ticket to Japan. I wanna go.
追いかけるべきなの
Should I call out to him? Should I run after him?
でも
But even were I to do so,
明智さん
I
に
don't know what I
な
ought
ん
to
て
say.
声をかけたらいいのかしら
Unable to decide on the proper thing to do, all I accomplished was watching as he disappeared into the distance.
Miss
You know, eavesdropping on
Listening
others'
to your
conversation is
conversation,
rather impolite of you, Miss Whiteley.
ホームズ
Holmes, were all the
Something
things you
was
said
missing.
true?
本当なの
あくまで可能性の話だ。
Possibly, possibly not. Such is the nature of the credible rumor.
明智君は情に流さ
Akechi
れ
may
やす
be
いが
easily
無知では
swayed
ない
by his emotions.
彼
He's
な
no
りに考
slave
え
to
て行動する
ignorance. I presume he will consider carefully what I said and act to ascertain the truth.
私
I
は
don't think wanting to believe in others is a
人を
bad
信じるこ
thing.
とが悪いとは思わないわ
お人よしの君らしい考えだな。
And that's exactly the sort of sentiment I'd expect from one as naive as yourself.
だが探偵としては判断を鈍らせる要因でしかない。
But in a detective's line of work, all it serves to do is dull your ability to make accurate judgments. Unfortunately, I had no counter to Holmes's argument. In the wake of that instant, I noticed Akechi begin to behave more distantly towards me. Bleh.
ミス・ホワイトリー先生の音読は子守歌ではありませんよ。これでもう何度目ですか？
Miss Whiteley, our daily lessons are not meant to be taken as a child's lullaby. How many times must I remind you of this?
ごめんなさい、明智さん。
I'm sorry, Akechi.
以後気をつけてください。
If you're truly sorry, then take more care in the future. I will.
明智のやつ、君には随分あっさりだよな。俺の寝坊と宿題忘れにはあんなに怒ってたのに。
He certainly lets you off easily, doesn't he? Every time I fall asleep in class or forget my homework, you've seen how he lays into me.
そりゃワトソンは常習犯だからな。仕方ないよ。
Well, you made a regular habit of it. What else would you expect?
小林、それはお前も似たようなもんだろ。いつも明智に怒られてるんだから。
You're one to talk, Kobayashi. He gets angry with you nearly as much as with me.
心配いらないよ。俺が怒られるのはワトソンと違って態度だけだから。
Well, you see, the reason he's upset with me is because of my attitude, not because of my behavior, which I might add is the opposite of you.
お前、たまに心に突き刺さることを平気で言うよな。
Ouch. You sure know how to hit a man where it hurts, don't you? Kobayashi punch!
小林、何をしてるんです？事務所に行きますよ。
What are you doing, Kobayashi? You need to leave for the agency straight away.
なあ、わかったよ。
Oh, right. Well,
それじゃ、
I suppose
また
I'll
明日な。
see you tomorrow, everyone. Two of them gave a polite nod, then exited.
デハルさんの事務所の依頼が忙しい
Really
ので
do seem quite busy these days. What with their work for Dehar,
放課後は
feels as though they
毎日
made their way there after school almost
すぐ
every
に
day
事務所に
now.
向かってしまうわ。明智さんも
Akechi still seems rather cold towards me too.
よそよ
I
そ
wonder
しい
if
し、
there's anything I can do about it.
どうしたらいいのかしら。
Days and weeks rolled by, and eventually, we entered the third year of our education. A strange sense of distance remained between Akechi and myself, but we nevertheless retained our good rapport as schoolmates. Sometimes he would tell me off, and others he would help me with my studies. I found him always to be a caring person and owed a great deal to him. So, in this bad ending, Akechi and Kobayashi just continued to unwittingly help a child trafficking ring continue to conduct their business. The time passed more quickly than I realized.
なあ、明智。
Listen,
どう
Akechi,
するんだ？
what do you intend to do?
何の話で
About
す？
what?
俺たちの留学は
Once we graduate from this
この学園
academy,
に在
our
学し
time
て
in
る
this
間って
country
約
is
束
over.
だったじゃん。
Whoops!
卒業だって
Well, that
そんなに
sucks.
遠い話じゃない
And perhaps it slipped your attention, but that's not
みんな
very
に
far
話
off
しておいた
now.
方がいいんじゃ
Don't
な
you
い
think it's about time we told everyone?
そうですね。
I suppose you have a point.
デハルさんにはもう伝え
You've
たんだ
already
ね
let Dahar know, haven't you?
はい。
I have.
僕たちが留学生だという事情は汲んでくれていましたから、
Realizing that we were here
帰
as
国につ
part
い
of
て
a
も
student exchange
理解してくれ
program,
ました。
would necessarily have to return home at some point.
まあ
Well, there were things about the man that always seemed rather strange
俺た
throughout
ち
the
には
time
親
we've
切
known
だった
him,
から
but he always treated us with great kindness and consideration.
マッケンジー先生にも
I've
すでに
also
伝えてあ
apprised
ります
Mr. Mackenzie of our impending
随
return
分
as
お
well.
世話になりましたし
We owe him a great deal after all.
ホームズたちには
By that, am
まだ
I to infer
伝えて
you've
ないの
not
か？
told Holmes and the rest of our schoolmates then?
これからです。
No, but I intend to.
じゃあレディにもまだ
That means you've yet to tell Emily either then.
小林、どうしてそこで彼女の名前を？
Kobayashi, for what reason would you choose to single her out by her name?
明智のことだから日本に帰ること伝えにくいんじゃないかと思って
It's just, knowing how you are, I'd wager you find it difficult to break to her the news of our return to Japan.
そんなことは。
That's not...
ないって言い切れるのか
Can you honestly look me straight on and tell me I'm wrong?
明智の態度は分かりにくいようで分かりやすいよな
That's my dude! At first, you seem like a difficult man to understand, but the more one gets to know you, the more one is like to realize how surprisingly easy it is.
ま、心残りがあるまま帰国ってだけには
Kobayashi,
なら
this
ない
is
よう
why
にし
you're
とけよな。
best boy. You always know the right solution. I'm just trying to assure you you won't board that ship home with any lingering regrets. The ultimate wingman. I'd spent my days like many others, scouring the library looking for any books and materials I could find about Japan. Ever since I had decided on the subjects of my thesis as differences in social values between East and West, I'd become a familiar sight in the library. Oh no, she's a weeb now? That's the real reason Akechi won't date her. She's too much of a weeb. Almost. She got too into yaoi and it freaked him out. She became a fujoshi. Even standing on the tips of my toes, stretching my arms out as far as it would reach, I was still ever so slightly too short to reach the book I wanted. Just a little more.
この本ですか?
Is this the book you want? Suddenly someone's hands reached up and touched the book I had been straining to reach. Yes, Dick Fight Island! Thank you so much, Akechi!
ニトベ稲造町武士道メリケンで刊行
And
さ
also
れたとは聞
Nitobe
きま
is
したが
Bushido.
エゲレスに
Oh,
もあ
I
っ
knew
た
it
んで
had
す
been published in America. I was not aware it was also available here. I don't care what that is, but I'm guessing that's a good thing I don't know.
どうぞ
What, Fujoshi? You don't know what Fujoshi is? Here you are. Akechi plucked the book from the shelf and handed it to me.
どうも
Thank you very much.
ミス・ホワイトリー少
Miss
し
Whiteley, might
話
I
せますか
ask a little of your time? Oh no, Dig Fight Island? Fujoshi? Wait, what was the thing that you don't know, Phoenix?
何かしら
Of course. What is it? I still remember I visited San Francisco a while back, and I went to a Kinokuniya, and I saw it. I saw Dick Fight Island. I almost bought it, but then I knew I wouldn't like to read it because it's actually not my thing. But I've seen the I have seen the historical piece of fiction with my own two eyes. Not yaoi, the other word you said? Fujoshi? Oh, oops. Tabbed out.
図書館で死後はあまりできないので場所を変えましょう
I'm not sure the library is the best place for a discussion. Might I suggest we go elsewhere? That's the one. Well, basically, it's a girl that's really into yaoi. Yeah, Fujoshi is when you love yaoi. Yeah, if you're a girl, it's Fujoshi. If you're a guy, it's Fudanshi. I don't know what the non-binary equivalent would be. Alright. And basically, the word itself translates to like, what was it? Filthy girl or something like that. Together, we made our way to the courtyard. Don't read this. Oh no, what do I do? Am I gonna die after I read that? Well, it's a fun word to say at least. I failed. I think the equivalent is Yuri Otaku. There's no direct equivalent. Together we made our way to the courtyard.
明智さん
So, what was it you wanted to talk with me about? Himejoshi?
はい卒業後僕と小林は日本へ帰国します
Well, to put it simply, after our graduation, Kobayashi and I will be returning to Japan. What's the male equivalent of Himejoshi? Himechoshi male version. Oh, just Himedanchi. Okay. Princess boy. Well, to put it simply, after our graduation, Kobayashi and I will be returning to Japan. Hentai.
次にいつエゲレスへ来ることができるのかもわかりません。
I have no idea as to when we'll be able to return to Engelsch again either.
それをあなたには伝えておきたかったんです。
I just wanted to inform you of that.
あなたには
You
そう
have done a lot for the two of us in our time here, after all. I wasn't sure how to respond to him.
そう
Oh,
日本へ
going back?
来るのね。
In spite of my feelings, I couldn't bring myself to tell him that I would miss him.
この国で学んだこと
I'll
は
never forget all that I've learned
決し
here
て
in
忘
this
れませ
country.
ん。あなたのような
Nor my
少
numerous
し変わった
encounters
英
with
国
a
式女
certain
がいたこと。
unusual English lady.
少し変わったっていうのはちょっと余計だと思うわ。
Certainly you can think of a more flattering way to describe me. Though I didn't understand why, that was all I could think to say to him as we stood there. But behind his glasses, his eyes had even more of a look of loneliness than usual. The light that shone down upon the courtyard was warm and bright. Unable to find the words to express what I felt, all I could do was turn my gaze downward, avoiding the light. Eventually, the day arrived on which Akechi and Kobayashi were scheduled to depart. They would be returning home aboard a ship that had been sent on an expedition from Japan, along with the members of its crew. I and many of my fellow schoolmates made our way to the port of London to see the two off.
あなた少し遅れてきたけど何かあったの？
You arrived later than I expected, Emily. Did something happen?
ごめんなさい。少し準備に時間がかかってしまって。
Apologies. I simply took a little longer than I expected getting ready.
まったく二人を見送りに行こうと最初に提案したのは君だろう、ミス・ホワイトリー。
Honestly, it was you who first proposed coming to see them off, Miss Whiteley.
そうね。
Yes, I suppose you're right. Ultimately, that sense of distance that had long sat between myself and Akechi never disappeared. But in spite of that, I still wished to bid the two of them a proper farewell, and so I had decided to invite everyone from our class.
ホームズ、ちょっと待たされたくらいで怒るなよ。
There's no need to become irate just because she kept you waiting, Holmes.
それに、彼女よりもルーピンの方がさらに遅れてきたし。
Especially when Lupin arrived even more fashionably late than she did.
ごめんなさい。途中で道に迷ったおばあさんに捕まって逃げられなくて。
Well, excuse me. An old lady I crossed paths with on the way here wanted directions somewhere, and I was quite unable to extricate myself from the situation. I hate this guy. Which guy? Lupin?
ルーピンは相変わらずね。
I see that some things never change, Lupin.
それよりも早く行こう。執行まであまり時間がないぞ。
What do you mean, which guy? There are like 3 guys here. Regardless, we ought to be on our way. We don't have long until the ship is scheduled to depart. At your point in which I said that, it was him and you? I'm not sure. I guess I can see why you asked. We made our way to the harbor where the ship was moored. Well, like it went from Watson to Lupin, so I was like, was it Watson or Lupin?
明智も小林もついこの前来たかと思ったのに時間が経つの
You
は
can
早
do
いな
both. Feels like only yesterday that they first arrived in England. Time suddenly does fly, doesn't it?
クラスでも存在感があったものね。いい意味でも悪い意味でも。
They had quite a presence in the class. For better or worse.
ワトソン君やルーピン君はことあるごとに明智君に注意されていたな。
Doubly so for Watson and Lupin, who always seem to find themselves in trouble with Akechi.
いや、明智は細かいところまでよく見てたからな。
It never failed to impress me how thoroughly he kept his eye on everyone.
誰も注意されたいわけじゃないのに。
It's not like I tried to end up in trouble with him.
あなたもさりげなく怒られていたわよね。そういえば。
Though, now that I'm thinking about it, you found yourself in trouble with him from time to time yourself. Didn't you, Emily?
ねえ。
Emily, are you listening? Oh, I'm sorry.
ぼーっとしていると。
If you walk about with your head full of daydreams, you'll end up tripping and falling into the gutter, you know.
君は先ほどからずっと自分のカバンを気
You
にしてい
seem
る
more
ようだが、どう
focused on the
したの？
contents of your bag than where you're going. Might there be some reason for that?
なんでもないわ。
It's nothing.
そ
Come
れより
on,
も
let's be
行
off.
きましょう。
I quickened my pace and soon found myself at the head of the group, but just then... Emily! Without warning, a man appeared from an alleyway just to the side of the road, and, mid-stride as I was, I crashed directly into him. And he impaled me!
大丈夫です
And
か？
then I died.
ミス
The end.
ホワイトリー。
Goodness. Are you alright, Miss Whiteley?
やれやれ、よそ見をしているからだ。
You see, that's what happens when you neglect to take stock of your surroundings. But
よそ見なんて
I was
そんなこと
looking. Yes, I have a whole rotisserie chicken in my bag. I wanted to eat it.
あなた、カバンはどうしたの？
Wait, what happened to your bag, Emily? Oh, they stole it. What?
さ
Oh
っきまで
dear.
ちゃんと
I
持っ
had
て
it
い
with
た
me
のに。
just a second ago. I had my bag firmly in hand throughout our walk. But suddenly, it was nowhere to be found. It definitely wasn't the guy that I just ran into.
さっきぶつかった男が
That
盗
man
ん
with
で
whom
い
you
った
had your
か。
unfortunate run-in must have stolen it.
こんなところでひったくりか
Damn
よ。
it! Why do we have to run into a thief now of all times?
そんな、
No,
それは
I really need that bag.
あ、待てよ。
Wait, Emily.
まったく、こうして
Honestly,
港で彼
it's
女を
the
追いかけるの
second
は
time I've
二度目だ
chased her
な。
here. I hurried after the thief as fast as my legs would carry me.
邪魔だ、そこをどけ。
You're in the way. Get lost.
すみませんが、そうにもいきません。
Was that Akechi? I'm afraid I can't agree to that. Suddenly, I heard a familiar voice from the direction the thief was fleeing.
明智、援護は？
Need a hand, Akechi?
無用です。僕に任せてください。
No, leave him to me.
なんだとこのメガネ。どかねえとそのまま海に沈めるぞ。
Don't give me that rubbish, Four Eyes! If you don't scram, you'll be taking a swim in the sea!
お好きにどうぞ。やれるものなら。
If you think you can, by all means, you're welcome to try.
明智さん。
Before me stood Akechi, the thief lying sprawled at his his feet. Ah,
エデ後頭部に一撃か。
ouch! Hilts of a katana right to the back of the head. I doubt he'll be waking up anytime soon.
で、レディ、どうしたんだこんなところで。
Wait, Emily? What are you doing here? One thing I wish that the translation didn't do was change Kobayashi calling Emily lady into just calling her Emily. I think it's kind of cute that he just calls her lady. He literally has a sword pointed at him and he tried to threaten him? Yeah, not very smart. I was chasing him because he crashed into me and stolen my bag.
やっぱりあなたのものだったんですね。
Then, as I suspected, this must be yours. Akechi picked up the bag and held it out to me.
どうぞ。
Here you are.
どうも、ありがと
Thank you so much.
う。でも、二人はどうしてここに？ もう船に乗っているかと思ったのに。
Still, what are the two of you doing here? I thought you would be aboard your ship home by now.
船に一緒に乗る使節団の人が途中で道に迷ってるらしくてさ。
One of the members of the expedition crew seems to have gotten lost on his way to the ship.
それで俺たちで探しに来たわけ。それじゃあ、アケチ、俺はこっちを探してくるよ。
So, being the upstanding gentlemen we are, we came to look for them. Anyway, I'll search this way, Akechi. Oh, he left to give Emily and Akechi a chance to talk alone. I see your game, Kobayashi. Kobayashi hurried off before receiving a response.
待ちなさい、小林。
Wait, Kobayashi
いつも人の話を聞かないで。
never listens to a word I say.
ミス・ホワイトにまさかここまで一人で来たわけではありませんよね。
Miss Whiteley, I hope you didn't come all the way here on your own.
え
Of course not.
え、ホームズたちと
Holmes and the
一
others
緒
are
に来た
with
の。
me.
その
Although, I seem to have
途
gotten
中で
separated
離れて
from
しま
them.
ったけれど。
はぐれて
I
と
take
いうよ
it
り
that
も
was
あな
what
たが
came of you deciding
こ
to
の
chase
男を追
after
いか
that
けるの
man
に夢
without
中だった
alerting
ので
them.
は。
You may have a
そういう
point.
ことかもしれないけれど。
大方
It's not difficult
想
to
像がつき
imagine.
ますよ。
You really haven't
あ
changed,
なたは
have
変わ
you?
りませんね。
Since that day you
僕
suspected
た
us
ちを
of
密入
illegally
国者と
entering
勘
the
違いした
country.
時からちっとも。ところで
Incidentally,
そのカバンにはそんな
Are
に
the
大
contents
切
of that
なもの
bag
が
of
入っていたん
value
です
to
か。随分
you seem
必死
quite
な様子で
desperate
追い
to
かけてき
retrieve
てい
it.
ましたけど。
ええ、
Yes, it contains something I wanted to
さん
give
と
to
小
you and
林君に
Kobayashi.
渡したいものがあったの。
I withdrew the items from the bag and presented them to him.
これは
This is...
初めて会った
It's
時と
the same
一緒で、
kind of dessert I gave you when we
二人に
first
あげた
met,
ものと、
and which I brought you at the agency where you were employed.
ただ
Still, I decided to make these myself, so they don't
見
look
た目は
quite as
ちょっと
picture perfect as
自
those
信がない
others.
けれど、
And it probably got all messed up when that guy stole my bag.
あなたがこれを
You made this?
でも
I can, at
味
the
には自
very
信があるわ。
least, guarantee their taste
ペンネート
though.
に
I had
指でチェ
Pendleton
ックして
watching
もらっ
over
たん
me
だも
through
の。
every step of the preparation and baking.
私には
I wish this was not all I could do, but I wanted to make something as a parting gift for the
見
two
送っ
of
てあ
you.
げたくて。
小林が喜ぶでしょうね。
I'm sure Kobayashi will
彼
be
は甘い
overjoyed.
ものが好きですか
He
ら。
does have quite the appetite for sweets after all.
もちろん
And of course, I'm happy as well.
嬉しく思います。ありがたく受け取らせてもらいます。
I would be more than glad to accept them. Nodding, he carefully took them from me.
ミス・ホワイトリー、あなたは男性に負けないくらい行動力があって積極的な方です。
Miss Whiteley, you are as active and forward as any man I've ever encountered. Is that supposed to be a compliment or an insult?
あなたのような女性がいるからこそエギレスは素晴らしい国となり得たのだと思います。
I believe it is because Ingelt has many women that it was able to become the wonderful country it has. Both? It's a compliment and an
あなたのよ
insult.
うな素晴らしい人がいたことを僕は忘れません。
I'll never forget that it was here I made the acquaintance of a wonderful woman like you.
ただしあなたは授業中の居眠りが圧倒的に多かったので
Still, I do find the number of times you fell asleep during class rather concerning.
今後も居眠りにはくれぐれも気をつけなければいけませんよ。
You really ought to try and do something about that habit of yours.
努力するわ。
I'll try my best. Emily, you're the manliest woman I know.
あなたに
I
渡し
wonder
た
why
いのは
this is the bad end. Sad truth. And something I'd like to give you as well. Emily just like punches him and leaves. I timidly took what he presented to me. What's this?
しおりです。あなたは本を読むのがお好きなようなので
It's a bookmark. You seem as though you enjoy reading, after all. It's made from very soft paper, several pale pink flowers pressed onto it.
綺麗な花びらが
Petals are so lovely.
それは桜です。日本を代表する春の風物詩。僕の好きな花でもあります。
They are cherry blossom petals, sakura, as we call them. In Japan, they are simple as spring, and a blossom I'm quite fond of besides.
エゲレスへ来る前から使っていたものですが、よかったら使ってやってください。
I've been using it myself since before I came to Engelsch. I would be happy to know you are making good use of it. Wait, am I your recycling bin?
それって明智さん愛用のしおりってこと？
But that makes it sound as though it's something really important to you.
そんなもの私がもらっては。
I couldn't possibly accept something like that.
はい、大切なものなのであなたにはあげられません。
You make a good point. It's too important for me to give to you. I'll take it back now. Bye!
そのしおりはあなたに。
Which is why I'll only be
貸しておきます。
lending it to you for the time being.
だから
I'll
次
expect you
に
to
会った
return
時
it to
に
me upon our next
僕に
meeting.
返してください。
Until then, however,
そ
I'd
の
be
時
happy
ま
if
で
you make good use of it. I
ど
know
うか
that you
丁
gave
寧
me
に
an,
扱ってく
an
ださいね。
I know that you just gave me a gift, and that you would think that this is a gift, but I'm not giving you anything actually. Fuck you.
ミス・ホワイトリー。
Of course. You have my word. I answered him almost as if speaking to myself, as if reassuring myself that I promised would be fulfilled. I'll take good care of it until we next meet.
このしおりを大切に預かるわ。
So, please stay safe until then. Alright, Akechi? I could feel my voice begin to tremble and waver, a sense of uneasiness building up within me. I wished more than anything to meet his gaze as I spoke, but I cannot bring myself to. Before I realized it, my eyes were once again looking down at the ground.
はい、
I will.
僕もあなたに
I promise you
約
that.
束します。
He gently placed his hands on my shoulders, as if to comfort me.
また
When I
この
next
国
see
に
the
来た時は
shores of Engelsch, you'll be
その
the
時
very
は真っ
first
先に
person I call upon.
あなたに会いに行きます。その時は
When we meet again,
もっと
I'll
鍛錬を
advance
重
greatly
ね
in my training
頼れる
and
人
be
間
far more dependable a man than I
あ
am
なた
now.
からしおりを
And on
返し
that
てもらい
day,
ます。
I should be happy to reclaim that bookmark from you.
ですからその時までど
So
うか
until
あなたを
then,
元気
I
で
want you to remain safe
笑顔でいて
and to
くださ
never
い。
lose that smile you so commonly wear. I don't know, that sounds like a big ask for Emily. Stay safe? Remain safe? Do you know this girl?
あなたには悲しそうな顔よりも
After
笑顔
all,
が似合い
a
ます
smile far better suits you than a pained expression. He smiled at me, a gentle, kind smile that brought with it a human warmth. Emily, I'm allergic to safety lightly. Akechi, thank you. Emily, I'm comfortable being kidnapped. Lightly. I turned to smile, though it took every ounce of willpower. I felt as though, at any moment, I might burst into tears, that my body would be racked by choked sobbing. But I felt his strong hands upon my shoulders, his gentle expression bestowed upon my shuddering spirit. His gentle expression bestowed upon my shuddering spirit a merciful calm.
あなたの健勝を祈り
I
ます
wish you all the best, Miss
ミス・
Whiteley.
ホワイトリー。
That was the last time he and I were able to speak alone. Soon after, Holmes and the others arrived, and together, we saw Akechi and Kobayashi off as they boarded the ship. Forcing down the crushing loneliness that ached within me, I waved, sending them off with a smile. All the while, I clutched Akechi's bookmark tightly in my hand. I tried to suppress the tears that threatened to well up as best as I could, believing that one day, somehow, we would be able to fulfill our promise. Though the smile I wore was far more mask than mirth, beneath it, my hope that this would not be our last meeting Still burned. Under the sky, a brilliant blue that stretched out to the horizon, where it touched the sea. I stood in silence, watching their ship sail into the distance, unable to take my eyes from it until it grew small and eventually passed out of sight. Ill-fated end. Oh no, he moved away! Unfortunate. That's not, okay. It kind of is a bad end when you put into perspective the fact that the child ring was not dissolved. I guess that's the bad part of the bad ending. But like him leaving and like promising to come back ain't that bad of an ending. But I guess the connotations of the child kidnapping ring continuing is the bad thing about that. Probably didn't even happen. It's not like heard, oh, the queen died in the Watson one. I guess so. Alright, let's watch Akechi's after story. Oh my god, why does it keep going to Watson? Is this one gonna be long as fuck too? I guess we'll see. Housed from a sound slumber by a gentle swaying clatter, I heard someone calling my name, as though from a distance, then growing near. Wake up, Emily. Slowly, my eyelids fluttered open.
Ohaya, Lady. Yoku nemureta?
Morning, Emily. Did you sleep well? She looks like she has some opium. Bitch, you had better be in an yukata. Boo!
Kobayashi-kun.
Yeah, it was quite comfortable. Why are we even here?
ならよかった。明智も嬉しいだろ。これで堂々とレディの抱き枕になれるぜ。
Glad to hear it. I'll bet Akechi was pleased as well, given his recent turn as your dependable pillow. Akechi, get this woman a kimono stat. Please, I think she'd look so cute in a kimono. What are you saying, Kobayashi? It was never my intent to. Kobayashi simply leaned back in his seat opposite mine with a wide grin on his face. It was then that the embarrassing truth began to dawn on me.
ごめんなさい、明智さん。私ったらこんなに寄りかかってなんてことを。
Oh dear. I'm so sorry, Akechi. I had no idea I had fallen asleep propped against you. I can't believe myself. There's no damn point in visiting Japan as an anime character that's not Japanese if they don't wear a kimono. For real! The fault is mine. I should have informed you of it as I saw you grow drowsy, but I just kept putting it off.
レディの寝顔、可愛かったもんな。眠くてこっくりしてた時もそうだけど、明智が抱き寄せた後はさらに。
Oh? Well, her sleeping phase was quite comely. She was a picture of innocence, as she began to nod off. But once you drew her closer still to you...
Kobayashi?
Oh!
Damn,
I didn't know carriages had 3 wheels in Japan, Kobayashi.
新橋あたりかな。
Oh, goodness. Trains sure make for quick travel. We must be near Shimbashi by now. Kobayashi gazed out the window with a surprisingly sudden interest. Akechi, meanwhile, turned in my direction, our gazes meeting. His face was still a little red, but in his eyes were the same kindness I had long known. Before I knew it, my own cheeks flushed a scarlet hue as well.
横浜港へ到着後、すぐ列車に乗りましたから、疲れが出たのでしょう。船を降りた時のあなたは。
We boarded this train almost as soon as we disembarked at the port of Yokohama, so I'm not surprised you'd be tired. You're like a child on her birthday when we first landed. I suppose I can't deny it. The air in Japan was so fresh and clear, completely different from the haze and fog of London. I can actually breathe here. So captivated was I by the newness of it all that I had almost fallen over several times already, not looking where I was going.
これでは
I need to pull myself together, or the people of Japan will all have a good laugh at my expense. I have to behave more like an English lady.
その心がけは
Well, that's a very respectable standard to measure yourself against. He gently squeezed my hand, as if to reassure me that things would be fine.
あなたが
But well, I'm more aware than most that you have a propensity to bite off more than you can chew.
何かあったら
If anything should happen,
どんな時
even
だ
if
って構い
nothing
ません
does, know that you can
僕に
always
頼
call
ってくだ
on
さい
me. Don't push yourself too
無理
hard,
は
alright?
しないでくださいね
Oh, he's so caring. He's got like such a warmth in his voice now when he's talking to Emily, because now they're dating. I like that.
あり
Of
がとう
course. Thank you, Akechi. I don't think I've ever seen streets this lively before.
こんなに賑やかな街並み初めて見たわ
And look at that lady walking so elegantly there.
細身で
She's so slender, and with such a beautiful dress too.
向こうから走って
Is
くる
that a
の
small
は
carriage?
小さな馬車
Wait, why is it being
こ
pulled
の
by a
人が
man?
車を引っ張ってるわ
あれは人力車で
They're
すよ
called jinrikisha
ロンドン市街
and
の
function.
辻
They're
馬
not
車のような
unlike
も
the
のでしょうか
cabs in London.
もっと広い通りは馬車も走ってるけど下町は人力車の方が見かけるかもな
You'll see the sort of carriages you're used to on the nearer thoroughfares of the city, but in downtown areas like this, the smaller sort are far more common. Both the people surrounding me and the language they spoke were far different than anything with which I was familiar, and served to make clear anew how far I had ventured from home. Presumably because Western women were not a common sight, I attracted no shortage of stares and quizzical glances from passers-by.
やっぱり落ち着かないわ明智さんと小林くんもロンドンに着いた時はどんな気持ちだったのかしら
It's harder than I thought to relax here. I wonder if this is how Akechi and Kobayashi felt when they first arrived in London. White woman
初めて
detected.
会った時二人とも堂々としていたわ私も見習わなきゃ
As I recall, they seemed quite confident and undaunted when I first encountered them. Perhaps I ought to learn from their example.
この先に政府の庁舎がありますまずは挨拶と報告に向かいましょう
The government bureau we're reporting to is this way. We should head there to greet them and present a preliminary report.
そうだな無事に帰国できたこととロンドンからレディーが来てくれたことも報告しなきゃ
We'll need to let them know that we've returned safely, and that Emily has joined us from London too.
私も
Wait, did we just like kind of illegally put Emily in here? Did we not go through the procedures to accept Emily into
緊張す
Japan?
るわ
I need to properly greet the people of your country too. It's just that now I've begun to feel a bit nervous about it. Oh my fucking god.
大丈夫ですよあなたは一通りの日本語をすでに習得しています
You'll be fine. You can speak some basic Japanese now after all. Much of the journey from Bombay to Yokohama had been spent learning the fundaments of Japanese vocabulary and grammar from Akechi and Kobayashi. While I couldn't by any means claim fluency, I at least knew enough to get by in day-to-day scenarios.
それにあなたは英国の
You're
女王
also a
陛下の
detective
一目を
recognized by Her
関係です
Majesty the Queen of
心配
England.
ありませんよ
I don't think you have anything to worry about. As we continued on, the teeming bustle of the city gave way to a district decidedly more western. What happened to Kenichi Honor Roll Student Class President Akechi following proper procedures?
この辺りの建物は
I guess his head was just full of, I want Emily to go to Japan with me. Buildings here seem much more like those in London. After what we just saw, it feels a bit strange.
エゲレスの建築技師を
Supposedly,
招
a
いて
bunch of
作ったって
architects
聞
from
いたぜ。
Engels were invited
他にも
over to design
政
them
治とか
and
最
supervise
新
the
の機械とか
construction.
軍隊とか
Japan's been eager to incorporate all sorts
エ
of
ゲレスの
English
やり
trends
方を
lately.
どんどん取り
Next
入れ
year,
てるらし
and
いよ。
everything from politics to machinery to military structure. Typical lovesick teenagers. Tisk tisk.
エゲレスの技術は
Engel's technology is a step
先進国の中
above
でも
even that of the world's other developed nations.
それに今の日
And
本
that our
政
current
府は
government is dominated by men from the domains of Satsuma and Shoshu, and that belong to the Tobakuha, is likely another reason for its newfound prevalence. Oh, again, getting a history lesson here.
えっ
What is a Tobakuha exactly? I only know what a Bakugan is.
あ、そうで
Oh,
したね。
sorry. I
ま
forgot
ずそこ
myself.
から話さない
Allow me to explain.
おい、明智
You at least try keeping it short and sweet, Akechi.
長
You
った
launch
らしい
into
ぞ
one of your long-winded
俺も彼女を
lectures. There'll be no
相手にして
time at
屋
all
台を
before you
覗
grow
きに行くから
bored enough to leave and browse the stalls along the street.
お前はただ生き
You're
てる
just
だけ
looking
でし
for an
ょ。
excuse to window shop. After silencing Kobayashi's whinging? Why? I believe that's supposed to be whining. Akechi began to explain the particulars of Japan's government to me.
数十年前まで
Until a few decades ago,
この
the
国の
ruling
政治
government
は
of Japan was the
幕府という
Tokugawa shogunate,
限られた武
also
士たちが
referred
握って
to
いま
as
し
the
た。
Bakufu, in which power was
長
held
年に
by
わ
a
た
small
って
number of
異
dominant
国との
warrior
交流を禁じて
families.
きたのも
It was they who
その
had
政策の
forbade
一環です。
opening relations with foreign countries. Oh, you finished with homework! Nice!
そして幕府の方針
The
に異を唱えたのが
Tobakuha refers to the two feudal domains, those being the aforementioned Satsuma and Shoshu,
その後
who most strongly
幕府と
opposed the
倒幕派は衝
Bakufu's
突し
ways and attempted
国
to
を巻き込
overthrow
む
it,
争いに発展し
leading
ま
to
した
civil war. Now that's a real world, antiquated though.
結果倒幕派が勝利し
Oh,
政
a
権は
real,
新
a
政府に
real
渡りまし
word.
た以降日本は近代化を推し
Yeah,
進
real
め
word.
積極的に外国へ留学生を派遣しているので
But
す
the Tobakuha prevailed in the end, and in its victory restored the emperor to power, establishing a new government. Since then, Japan has pursued rapid modernization and sent large numbers of students abroad to study in Western countries. Okay, I am getting tired. I was thinking I could sit through Akechi's epilogue here, but I think we're gonna have to do that next time. I'm tired. I gotta go to bed. I've been going to bed real early lately. But yeah, we shall continue this soon. It's all good. You just reached the 2-hour mark at least. You got art though, yeah. Let's do some art time. Elio's sleeping at a good time. Wonderful timeline. Hey lovebirds, to all Broken Street Date Street Fighter 6 players, curse of dry Japanese geopolitical history. Fuck, I forgot to delete all of the original cursive wrong. Alright, but yeah, we will be doing art time now. So, at the end of every stream, we do art time. If you have a piece of art that you'd like to be shared, you can join the Discord. Here's the link to the Discord. For art that you'd like to be shared, please share it in the art time submissions thread under the art general channel. It can be art, memes, photography, etc. As long as it is something that you yourself made in some way, shape, or form. But with that out of the way, let's take a look at what we got. Let me get my window capture up. The joke was funnier in my head. What is this? Okay, this is by Leonix. Ellie. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me zoom out. Elio, you spent an hour in this puzzle. Get serious. That too serious. This is so cute. What? Oh my god. The like hyper detailed rabbit. Me. That's so cute. I think it's really funny that I get too serious that it turned into like an actual like High definition rabbit. That's cute. I love the rabbit. You did such a good job drawing the rabbit. That was really good. I feel like drawing animals is really hard. You did it really well. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's funny. I think it's funny and I like the art. Thank you, Linux. I'm gonna save this. Like, I like the name for it. Too real. It's not that hard when you can cheat. Next time you get a subathon, someone remind me to ask hyper-realistic Elio Lappy to be your icon. That would be good. Maybe we'll do one next week, depending on if I have to record for stuff. Yeah, good stuff, Linux. Okay, and then we got this by Dwarf. Oh, it's a video. Hold on. Let me get the capture. Here we go. Point of view. A new hum hum pung pung branch opened, and that one fritter your very alive wife really enjoys is back on the menu. Let's see. Wait, why ain't it playing? There we go. Oh, what? Oh, there we go. So this is what you were doing. Good video. Good shit. Good stuff. I had a feeling you were making a video earlier. Nice meme. Nice video. I needed to switch to creative because I'm 99% sure I would just hit something without seeing it. Because it's legitimately too fast. The chunks do not load. And then we got this by Jackie. I was hoping someone was gonna do a meme with Pendleton with a gun. The myth of consensual traveling. I consent. I consent. I don't. Isn't there somebody you forgot to ask? That is really good. Good shit, Jackie. I'm glad someone did that. I was thinking of this meme earlier when they were having that conflict. Good meme. Good meme. Yeah, I feel like Pendleton with a gun can get a lot of work. Can get a lot of memes done with it. Happy to serve. Thank you, chef. Good meme. I munch it up. I devour it, swallow it. Yummy! And then we got this by Jackie. Akechi bad ending low key. Let me see. We did it, Kobayashi! We saved the city! We didn't do anything! We got all the children kidnapped! The drug ring's still active! So true. So true. The bad thing about Akechi's bad end is that the child ring is able to just keep running around doing their thing. Kidnapping kids. Drafting them to the Hong Kong War. And then let me see. Yep, that is it for art for the night, everyone. Yeah, I am very tired. I'm just gonna end stream here. I wanna hop into bed. I'm gonna sleep. Honk shoo, honk shoo. Oh, me. Thanks for stream. Thank you for coming. see you guys later. Good night.